A warm welcome to Anuradha Vedic Astrology. Today we are going to talk about the 6th house of the D9. An interesting house because that is a house that has a lot of say in a married or unmarried life. So, before we begin, a big thanks to all of you for liking, sharing and subscribing to our YouTube and Spotify channels and writing in your views and your suggestions there. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do, and do remember to press the bell icon so that you can get the updates ASAP. When we see the D9, which is primarily for marriage but many other factors, and also the D9 being the most important chart when we come to understand, assess the value of a planet. That also we can take up in any of the videos. But when we look into the D9 chart, all of us want to see about the marriage aspect. So the 6th house of the D9 becomes very important. The 6th house of the D9 can give us positive results also, that we can talk about in other charts. But when we are looking at from a separation point of view, this house becomes doubly important. We know a basic principle that the 12th house from any house gives us the negation of the house concerned. So when you are talking about the 7th house of the D9 chart, which shows an impact on marriage or how the married life would be, the 6th house, being the 12th house from the 7th house, shows about the negation of the marriage or when the separation, divorce can happen. Now when there are malefics present in the 6th house of the D9, there will be problems in the married life and the marriage can move towards separation. How this separation will happen, how the divorce will happen will depend upon the planet which is present there in the 6th house. Say if it is Sun, Sun we all know denotes your ego. So it could be the ego on a very esoteric level for very highly evolved people. It could also mean that the life path of the person was different, the person had to move on a different life path, but that's only for those who are highly evolved. For those who are on the path of people living on the normal plane of existence, if there is Sun which is placed there, then this Sun can kill a marriage through ego. At the same time, if there is Saturn present there, then there is dispassionate detachment. One would be so aloof, so detached from their married life that they would separate, they would drift apart as they say, and they will go their own ways. Mars gives in fighting. Mars can also, as I have always mentioned and as I have stood firm on my ground, see if Mars in the 6th house is in the Devamsha, then that Mars is quiet but drifting apart. If it is in the Manushyamsha, it shows fights, it shows kind of battles, and if it is in the Rakshashamsha, then it shows fights through your, fighting not just verbally but also physical abuse that can be seen. And if it is Rahu, then it is for sure that there is cheating involved and that causes the separation between the spouse. Ketu can make the spouse very self-concerned, very introvert, and that fanatism of the spouse can cause a dislike and a movement apart. But if there are benefics which are kind of looking into the chart of the 6th house, say supposing there is a Jupiter aspect on the 6th house in spite of malefics present there, then it so happens that the people can drift apart as per the planet placed there, but the marriage may not dissolute. That is something that can be seen from chart to chart. And now let us take up an example chart of a person. Here you see it is the D9 that I am taking into account, and there is Sun present. This person has undergone multiple marriages and the marriages or the relationships have broken off because of the egoistical nature of the person. You see the sun, it is present in the 6th house of the Navamsha. What more, this sun is also not aspected by any benefic planet. So, it does not endure, the marriage does not endure that kind of ego, and the marriage falls apart. If you have seen any chart where you see a marriage which is falling apart and you want to predict, the best way to do it is to see the D9 and the 6th house about it, and that will give you a great answer to it. So, till we meet with you again, stay safe. Thank you.
Please hit the bell icon for fresh updates. Don't forget to like, share and comment on the videos, and please subscribe to our channel.